This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, the PSA steps in as Compass Group prepares to take over the kitchen at Dunedin Hospital. A fast charger for electric vehicles is earmarked for the city and is likely to be very cost effective in the first year. And support grows for a national Stop Violence campaign, yet reported cases here are on the increase. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. Union representatives are speaking out about a scheme to cut down on kitchen staff at Dunedin Hospital. Compass Group is taking over duties at the hospital kitchen, which involves cutting staff and trucking in meals. And that's got union leaders asking questions.
The paperwork. This local public service association organiser is going through a submission to Compass Group over its kitchen changes at Dunedin Hospital.
Essentially, they become a contractor of the hospital and they're now going to provide the food services for the entire district. So that's everywhere from Dunedin all the way to Invercargill out to Queenstown.
The new operation's expected to save the Southern District Health Board nearly $7 million over the next 15 years. But the savings mean a 20% cut in kitchen staff. Some have been working at the hospital for more than 30 years.
There's going to be job losses, essentially, and also a change to the way they work. There'll be a lot less food cooked on site. It'll be brought in and then reheated and delivered. But also even the way they interact with the wards and patients will change.
The union's helping staff with the transition, making sure they're taken care of under their new employer. Morton claims Compass has been muddying the waters, making it hard for staff to understand what's going on and whose jobs are on the line.
They don't seem to know how to deal with staff in this situation. They don't know what transparency means. They don't know what engagement means. They don't know how to work with the union in a positive, constructive way. No. The information is like trying to pull teeth.
Compass took over kitchen duties at the hospital last month and is looking at redundancies. The company's consulting with staff and in the meantime won't make further comment. Union reps are planning to lodge their submission on the case next week. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
Almost 100 unmarked examination papers have been stolen from the University of Otago. A total of 98 papers were taken from the exam office inside the Clock Tower building on Saturday night. The break-in is being investigated by police as well as Campus Watch and university staff. They're contacting students whose papers are missing. Most are from exams sat on Saturday, the last day of university tests for the year. The exam office is only accessible with a swipe card and it's not known how entry was gained. Staff say there's been considerable damage to the property. The missing papers cover a range of courses. A local company is planning to install the South Island's first rapid charger for electric vehicles in Dunedin. Delta is applying to the City Council for resource consent to establish the public charging station, and the small number of residents with electric cars isn't seen as a deterrent.
For a Dunedin first, infrastructure company Delta is in the process of setting up a public electric vehicle charger in a car park space in Falul Street. It's lodged a consent application with the City Council to install the rapid charger, which will only just be bigger than a petrol pump.
Obviously it's got to go through the planning process. It's got to make, and the planners obviously need to make sure that all fully complies with the Dunedin City Plan and District Plan, etc. But yeah, look, we're really optimistic and hopefully we'll have it in place before Christmas.
The charger will be free for residents to use in the first year. There are less than 20 registered electric vehicles in Otago and around 800 nationwide. They only make up a small percentage of vehicles on the road, but the number's expected to grow.
We think that electric vehicles will certainly become more and more of the vehicle mix for the transport fleet of New Zealand. Over time, there's more and more manufacturers bringing new models into New Zealand.
Currently, Europe and Japan are the two countries making the most use of electric vehicles. But Delta believes New Zealand's in an ideal position to benefit from the technology.
New Zealand's in a really privileged position, being 80% renewable energy generation with our our vast wealth of hydro generation and wind and also geothermal. So there's also a really good story to tell from a New Zealand Inc. perspective in terms of 80% renewable generation, then being able to convert to potentially 80% of our transport fleet.
The charge is likely to cost about $50,000. Cameron says it's worth it to publicly promote electric cars and support their use. Delta's hoping to lead the way and has an electric car on order. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
A pilot has walked away from a crash on a runway at Dunedin International Airport. The pilot was alone in a two-seater Cessna when it crashed on the runway just after midday. Emergency services were called to the incident, although the pilot managed to get out of the plane without serious injury. The small aircraft was removed from the runway so airport operations could resume. The incident has been reported to the Civil Aviation Authority. Locals are rallying behind a campaign to stop violence towards women. The National White Ribbon campaign is raising public awareness around female abuse, and cases in Dunedin are causing concern.
Pledging for peace with white ribbons. These family violence workers are mucking in to support the White Ribbon campaign that's aimed at stopping violence towards women.
What's really important, because family violence is a huge problem in our community. We know that approximately half of all police call-outs in Dunedin region are related to family violence.
In New Zealand, 1 in 4 people are directly affected by family violence. It's estimated to cost the nation $5 to $11 billion each year. The stereotype is that people in poorer families are more commonly involved in domestic violence, but that's not typically true in Dunedin.
What's interesting about Dunedin is that 50% of the police call-outs are to families from higher socio-economic groups. So it's not just the poor or the unemployed. It's an issue that affects all sectors of society.
The campaign is running throughout November. Thompson says there's many benefits to increasing public awareness, but the only way to prevent violence is at the grassroots level.
It's a significant social problem that the only way it's going to change is when everybody in our community decides that I'm going to do something about it. So whether it's get help for your family or it's help somebody else, it's a problem we all need to work together to tackle, not just the agencies.
Motorcycle riders will be travelling all over the country for the initiative and are due to stop in Dunedin later this month. Thompson says the campaign is prompting the Dunedin Collaboration Against Family Violence to kickstart its own plans for the new year. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, is Waitati in line for a wind farm? And investigators pinpoint the cause of the weekend's school fire.
Girls Talk this month is full of inspirational gift ideas. There's books, storage solutions and delicious treats. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page to be in to win some fantastic prizes from the show. Join us on Dunedin TV for Girls Talk.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Pellet fires are growing in popularity in Otago, with people who want a clean and efficient form of home heating. The sight of a burning flame without the problems of chopping, stacking and carting wood around is a winner. Pellet fires, so easy, so efficient.
Big Orange for all your movies, records, books and games, pre-loved needs, vinyl records, 45s and DVDs. A South Dunedin family-owned business for over 15 years. Check us out on Facebook. We're opposite Westpac on the sunny side of King Edward Street.
Grandad loved his family and surfing, in that order. He taught me to surf, and we spent a lot of time in the water together over the years. When he died, I strapped the camera to the nose of his old board and filmed the paddle out at St. Clair. Gillian's played the video on the big screen at his funeral. Grandad would have loved having everyone come out one last surf with him.
Gillian's Funeral Services, helping families celebrate the lives of their loved ones for generations. Gillians.co.nz.
At your locally owned and operated Veggie Boys store, we've got fresh produce daily, fruit, veggies and more. Competitive prices are just one of the reasons people come to us in all seasons. Convenient locations and friendly crew, Veggie Boys Dunedin, come try something new. Stores in the north, the south, be our guest, Centre City as well to serve you the best. Daily specials on produce that are hard to beat, all tasty and healthy and all good to eat. Don't forget we've also got your milk, bread and meat. Veggie Boys Dunedin, your guaranteed a treat.
McClellan Refrigeration is your one-stop shop for heat pumps in Dunedin. We have a range of heating, air conditioning and refrigeration solutions. We also have 20 years experience. McClellan Refrigeration, call us on 477 0088.
Hedges are something we almost take for granted. A good hedge needs regular maintenance to look its best and to add value and character to your property. For all your hedge care needs, call the team at SGC Services on 0800 783 453.
Congratulations, you're getting married. Hi, I'm James Morris, wedding celebrant, and it's my privilege and a pleasure to bring you the perfect ceremony for your perfect day. Don't wait or contemplate. Your consultation is free with no obligation. jamesmorris.co.nz.
Christie Glass Houses and Sheds. Good to grow stuff in. The first choice for gardeners for over 100 years. Built to withstand extreme weather conditions and hard work. Full range of options available. Thomas Burns Street across the road from the railway station. Free call 0800 Allens.
Ever-ready mowers and chainsaws. Husqvarna outdoor power equipment for all the jobs, no matter what the size. Give Graham a call on 4552 555 or visit our new showroom at the roundabout end of Andersons Bay Road. We sell the best and service the rest.
Welcome back. Local houses are selling faster and in bigger numbers than at this time last year. Sales were up 8% last month compared to the previous October. It's taking less time to sell houses in the city and the number of listings is up. The average sale price is also rising, up about 13% from a year ago. Industry commentators say the strong interest from Auckland investors is continuing. More first home buyers are also being prompted into action under fear of rising prices. And on that note, let's take a look at today's financials. The NZX 50 has closed the day down 45 points and it's now at 6,003. The Dow Jones is down 180 points. And to the exchange rates, no change today for the pound or the euro. The Australian and the yen we are down against, but we are up against the US. A small wind farm might soon be built on Porteous Hill near Waitati. The Blueskin Resilient Communities Trust has set up a company for the scheme and project manager Scott Willis joins us to talk about it. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening.
This is quite an exciting idea. What's the wind farm going to be used for?
Well, firstly, it's going to be used for local renewable electricity generation. So that's the straightforward answer, but the other answer is that it's a community support activity which will give us long-term income to help us continue our climate change work and be a beacon for other communities who want to make a difference.
How big will it be?
Small wind farm. It's going to be scaled to the landscape and to the community. There will be 3 turbines of between 800 and 900 kilowatt capacity each, but it's also the most significant renewable electricity generation project since the Waipori power station in 1907.
What is the motivation behind a wind farm?
Well, in 2006 there were floods in Dunedin and they particularly hit Blueskin, so we realised that climate change was here, peak oil was happening and economic volatility was associated with both. So we decided that we needed to take charge, engage in projects that would help build community resilience. So that's really where it came from.
Have you got a site picked out?
Got a site picked out. It's on Porteous Hill. It's a great site. It's got it's close to our settlements. It's visible, which is what most people want, It's got transmission nearby, it's got a great road all the way to it, and of course it's got wind, so we need wind.
Landowners are supporting it. What about the people around it?
Well, the landowners love it, of course, because they can keep farming and it gives them some income, and it's got community benefit and it's local electricity. People around it, we know that there's strong support. It's been underway since 2009. All our surveys and community engagement, it's the longest front-end loading of any renewable power station or power generation asset in New Zealand. No one's quite done that amount of front-end work that we've done before. However, we know that we'll pick up some opposition, and somebody has to complain about something.
How much is it expected to cost?
Well, it's 5 to 6 million, so it's not cheap. But the other side of that is that it's unlike a coal-fired power station or a gas power station. The fuel is free once it's up and running, so it's an achievable price.
When do you hope it will be operating?
All going well, and we anticipate that. Not even if all going well, we think blade should be spinning at the start of 2017. Timeline will be dictated to some extent by the resource consent process, but generally we've got capacity to get it running by 2017, early 2017.
Who's funding this?
At the moment we're funded primarily out of donations, community grants and early stage investment, but once the resource consent is through, we'll be seeking wider investment in the project, and we'll be using Pledge Me or equity crowdfunding as an important funding tool to ensure we've got community ownership as well as trust ownership of it.
Are you trying to fundraise the entire $5 to $6 million, or?
Some of it will be debt,
Yeah.
but we don't anticipate the capital raising is going to be a challenge.
Okay. Who will you be selling the electricity to?
So we have a number of options. Because it's embedded generation, it doesn't enter into the national grid, but it will pass through a market participant. So the option that we're looking for is the simplest and most efficient, and we're talking with somebody who sees the benefit of buying local, who wants to reduce their emissions and can see the benefit of being associated with a community project like this and a New Zealand first.
Now in time it may well turn a nice healthy profit. How will those profits be used?
Profits, the Trust is aiming to use profits to continue its climate change work. So we'll invest in such projects as subsidised insulation, solar installations to reduce household emissions, to work on managed retreat for housing in high hazard zones as sea level rises, and expand our cosy homes work. So those are the things that the examples we'll be investing in, but really everything we can do to build community resilience in the face of the challenges we're facing.
Project Manager Scott Willis, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
After the break on 39 Dunedin News, the cause of the fire at Taieri College is determined, and 2 award-winning radio stars put the feelers out for a third person to join their show.
Do you want support for your breathing? You are not alone. In New Zealand, over 600,000 people have some form of breathing difficulty, especially with the high pollen season in New Zealand. Puff Plus is an excellent natural product developed to support lung function and breathing difficulties. Puff Plus is so effective, you get a no questions asked, money back guarantee on the first purchase. Give it a go, you have nothing to lose. Call now, 0800 502 402. Take as directed. If symptoms persist, see your healthcare professional.
Are you within your legal rights to take one life in order to save another? Welcome to the ambiguities of law. Because whilst the law may be clear, there is still room for both yes and no.
What? No!
The decision will depend on logical thinking and the art of argument. And this is what we learn at New Zealand's first and world-renowned law faculty.
You can stop now!
I'm Latafale, and this is my place in the world.
Take your place in the world.
Mobility Scooters Otago. Mobility scooters, new and used, electric manual wheelchairs, strollers and walkers. Free home demonstration and delivery. call Tony on 03 455 2875 or visit our showroom, 211 King Edward Street, opposite Westpac.
This year's Oamaru Heritage Festival's theme is Alice in Wonderland, celebrating the sesquicentennial of its writing. Join us in Oamaru November 11th to 16th. See www.vhcu.co.nz for details. And don't be late for this very important date.
Mosgiel Mowers Plus can help you with products to make your garden maintenance jobs easier. Lawn mowers, ride-ons, chainsaws, line trimmers. Sales and service are our specialty. Mosgiel Mowers Plus. Phone 489 3572 22B Gordon Road, Mosgiel.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
They got all, it's all about our customer care, great food, great coffee, and supported by some awesome staff. We think it's really important that the customers, when they come in here, have a good experience and leave wanting to come back. And I think in a nutshell, that's what the good oil is all about.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Chiropractic care is a drug-free way of sorting out stress and pain by getting your spine in line with body and brain. At Mosgiel Chiropractic and Wellbeing, we provide family chiropractic care. Feel taller, lighter and brighter. Call Mosgiel Chiropractic and Wellbeing today, 484 7272.
Welcome back. The merger of Aoraki Polytechnic and the Christchurch Polytechnic Institute of Technology has been confirmed by the government. The new institution will initially be called CPIT Aoraki, although it's likely to get a new name next year. It'll include existing campuses in Oamaru, Timaru, Ashburton and Christchurch. The Aoraki campus in Dunedin is being taken over by Otago Polytechnic, which will run its programs based on demand. The move comes after 18 months of planning as well as public consultation. Fire investigators have found the cause of the blaze which destroyed Taieri College's hall building on Sunday afternoon. The fire was caused by an electrical fault with a multiboard. Investigators won't confirm whether the multiboard was overloaded at the time. 9 fire crews attended the blaze, working into the night to ensure damage was contained. The hall building and everything inside has been destroyed. Damage is estimated to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. The hall was being used for storage while other parts of the school were being upgraded. Staff say classes and exams are running as normal. 2 local children with a knack of broadcasting have taken top honours at Otago Access Radio's Biennial Awards. The youth-focused show was chosen by judges above dozens of other programs on the station, and now they're looking for someone new to join in their success.
On air with 2 of the city's youngest broadcasters. Jaden Jasudis and Daniel Tucker are the voices behind weekly radio show Global Kids New Zealand on Otago Access Radio. Their hard work over the past few years is paying off, with the pair winning the station's top volunteer award. It's an honour that's left them feeling overwhelmed.
Boom! Yeah, I was amazed when they said, so the winner is going to win $150 and the Supreme Award. My heart instantly started racing, and then they called out Global Kids and I was ecstatic.
The sentiment is shared by his co-host.
We feel really humbled, I guess, and it's just amazing. And I just can't believe that we won the Supreme Award, and I'm still fuzzing. Man, it's just amazing.
11-year-old Jaden started the radio program 3 years ago after being convinced by his mum to give it a try. After about a year going it alone, he brought in 12-year-old Daniel, who had no hesitation in signing on as co-host.
When you hear about More FM and stuff, like it's so cool, you know, because they play all their music and talk about cool stuff. And I actually did want to start my own radio show because, you know, it would be real cool talking about your interests and having guests.
The boys are dedicated to continuing their show in the foreseeable future, but aren't sure about a career in broadcasting just yet. Their boss is enjoying having them on air for as long as they see fit.
These guys are just the epitome of access radio, really, that they're making a fantastic program. They're taking a whole lot of care about what they want to talk about, and it's big stuff.
Now the boys are looking for a female co-host to diversify the show. They're also thinking about how to defend their title at the next awards in 2017. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
Well, good stuff. Well, now recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. Union leaders are slamming Compass Group's plans to cut kitchen staff at Dunedin Hospital and are helping workers with a transition. Delta is planning to install a charging station for electric cars in Fallow Street, which will be free for residents to use in the first year. And locals are rallying behind a national campaign to stop violence towards women as cases in the city continue to cause concern. We're going to now find out what's going to be on the pages of tomorrow's Otago Daily Times, and Phil Somerville joins us. Good evening.
Hi Rebecca. Here's a tiny sample. Many people recognise this man and his gorgeous daughters Annabelle. And Ben Smith, of course, had an amazing year, World Cup Super 15 title, married and a child. Tomorrow, Mr. Stay, lovely pick again. This preparations at the Radius Fulton Care Centre. There's another story in the paper about a mother planning to take a 4-month-old baby who's breastfeeding to Fleetwood Mac. The promoters weren't keen, but now they've done a turnaround and it's all go for mother and child. But that one, of course, planning more too on the break-in at the university and the exam papers being taken.
And what's on the pages of Fresh
tomorrow?
Oh
yes, 3 pages of Fresh, lots of recipes. And the main story is about a community group that has produced a cookbook. Lots of community groups do that, but this is 360 pages long, hardback, and quite something, not your ordinary little pamphlet.
Read all about that in tomorrow's ODT. Thank you, Phil. Time now for local weather. And here is today's city view. It's taken of a hot air balloon painting. Around the city at 3 o'clock today, 17 degrees for the central city, 18 at the Gardens and 16 degrees out on the Tyree. Well, to the situation, a weak trough of low pressure will develop tomorrow. It's followed by a period of cold southerly airflow as an anticyclone moves across the South Tasman Sea. To the forecast for the main towns on the lower South Island for tomorrow, sou'westers and a few showers for Invercargill with 11 degrees. Sou'westers, some cloud about for Gore, 12 there. Becoming fine in Tiana with sou'westers easing and a high of 14. And becoming fine in Alexandra with sou'westers, 13 degrees. Sou'westers, but an otherwise fine day for Queenstown. Showers clearing with southerly winds for Oamaru and Twizel. Becoming fine in Wanaka with sou'westers, and highs for these towns are between 10 and 13 degrees. In Dunedin tonight, showers and sou'westers with an overnight low of 8. Showers clearing tomorrow with sunny periods increasing during the day. Sou'westers easing, we're expecting 14 degrees. And on Thursday, mostly fine and sunny with southerlies dying out at a high of 11. Into the Otago pallet fires, tidal and fishing information. Low tide tomorrow morning is at around 11 o'clock and high tide follows at 4:30. And fishing looks pretty good tomorrow, particularly at around 1 p.m. And that is all from the team here at 39 Dunedin News for Tuesday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.